Alrighty, hello hackers. How's it going? Hope y'all are doing great. Howdy, howdy. Gonna do a quick reality check, make sure everyone can hear me all right. And if you all can, then we'll be good to go pretty much immediately after. So, hello, everybody. Making sure we're all good already, all set, ready to rumble and all that. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's my first Global Hack Week stream for API weeks outside of today and Global Hack Week yesterday. So it's exciting to be back and exciting to be working through some stuff with y'all today. So I think we'll have a really fun stream. It'll be a good time. But yeah, I'm not hearing. Let me turn the music back on because I don't left the little music in the background. Keep it kind of muted and all that. And then let's see here. Gonna make sure that we're all set. For some reason, I can't see much. Okay, we'll give it a second. Make sure everyone's all good and all ready to go. And if not, we'll go ahead and get started in just another minute. We're gonna be building an API today, which is fun. We're gonna try and figure out some structures for it, which I think will be an exciting thing. And then we'll actually try and build it out today. And then we'll back to later tonight or later today for more, or tomorrow, depending on what time zone you have to be in just about a couple hours. So it'll be a fun double stream feature with me today, which I think will be exciting. But yeah, I like to keep my streams relatively engaging, relatively fun. So we should have a good time. Make sure everything is all set. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and leave the ticker up here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start off. Ooh, you know what I'll do first before we start too? I'll go ahead and share the check-in link for the stream. So y'all can go ahead and check in right at this link here. I'm gonna leave it down here. So if anyone wants to check in, you can just go to our event check-in link right on there, and you'll be able to join us for all of the Global Hack Week fun, which is quite exciting. And then you also get points and all of the other fun Global Hack Week things associated with it. So it'll be a great time. Outside of that, I think let's go ahead and set up a GitHub repository that I can share with y'all and then walk through kind of what I've been thinking of doing for this. So I'm going to go ahead and create a repository called Cheerify API. And then I'm going to go ahead and share it with everybody here in the chat. So for context, we've been working on an app for the last couple of Global Hack Weeks as like a fun little beginner learning exciting project called Cheerify. So it's an affirmation app that kind of just spits out affirmations based on your, my goodness. It's an app that has custom affirmations. And so we've been using a third-party affirmation API, and we had some snags with how I wanted to move forward with like data persistence and things like that in Cheerify actually. So I thought it would be a good idea for us to kind of make our own API, and we had it as a bucket list item even before we found out that we were going to have Global Hack Week API week, which is exciting. So I think it'll be a really fun time for this stream to just go ahead and build out the API and try and plan out how it works. So I'll probably show a little bit of what Cheerify looks like, at least the iOS version, which is a little bit more fleshed out. And then we will, after that, get a chance to work a little bit with the actual, like how to build out an API, some of the technologies we might use and things like that. So it should be a pretty fun stream. We've got 3 parts for it, one today, one later today, and then one right now, I guess, one later today, and then one tomorrow. So it'll be a good mix of fun little streams that we've got planned. So yeah, for those of you who might be looking to go to the repository, that's going to be at this link here. And then I think now might be a good time for me to launch up Cheerify, just kind of show you what we've been doing. not even in previous streams, but kind of the vision behind the application here. So I'm going to open up Cheerify here. Hello, hello. Hopefully it's going well. Let's see here. Yep. Awesome. Gonna go ahead and make sure everything looks good on Cheerify before I launch it here. But I'm gonna go ahead and say hello again. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a fun couple of days. Exciting week. Almost done with classes and exams, like kind of in the home stretch, which is fun, but also, you know, can sometimes be pretty stressful. And yeah, okay. We've got Cheerify up here. We've got our custom view. That's our add and custom affirmations, our menu view. I'll go ahead and share my screen in a second. I just want to make sure everything looks good. Content view. It's our home page, yes. And then our favorites view, our ad view, and then our affirmations data structure. Awesome. Okay. So to share my screen a little bit, to kind of provide you some additional context, this is Cheerify. So this is the iOS version of the app that we've built out. We also built out a version for Android during Global Hack Week Beginners. It's been working on this for quite some time, but Cheerify has a bunch of different like cool features, I would say. So the first one that is, hold on, sorry, my cable's tangled and all that. So we've got our affirmation structure, which is right now just a string affirmation. Then we have our favorites view, which allows you for you to view any of your favorite affirmations. By default, you don't see any affirmations. Then we have an ad view, which in theory should allow for you to add and save new affirmations, but it hasn't been really working. We also added some AI and ML classifiers in our February stream that we could talk about later if needed. But for now, we have our Cheerify API here, which has our mistakes don't, kind of our structure. And then it makes a call to this affirmations.dev API that someone else wrote. And I'm going to go ahead and expand out this a little bit and shrink this part so I can see it better. We make a call to affirmations.dev and then attempt to decode that input. And then, so affirmations.dev is kind of the main tool that we've been, or I would say the API that we've been using before this. And so we've got, within Cheerify, we've got 4 different buttons. This one links us to our menu. This one links us to our page. This one makes an affirmation favorite. This one refreshes our affirmations, right? So it makes a new call to our API. Now here is the things that I kind of want to, and I'll go ahead and pull up my GitHub here because I want to write out kind of what I'm thinking for my API features so that we can talk about it together. So I will go ahead and open up here this page really quickly. Let me make sure we're good. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a really quick README file. And so we're going to use this README file to sort of like walk through some of the features that we might want. So one of the first things that might be helpful for us to do is figure out the structure of our API. So let's go ahead and kind of walk through the design process, right? So we could potentially kind of create a diagram of some form. Let's commit the README to start, and then I kind of maybe want to use something to diagram our API. Let's see, let me think about what would be good here. We could just use, let me go ahead and within here, just start a quick, like maybe Notion document. I do love Notion. Start a quick Notion document, and within that Notion document, let's go ahead and create yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll shrink this. Perfect. And then we can go ahead and within here, just go ahead and create our Cheerify API notes. Cool. Ooh, we have a recommendation. Let me see. Scally drama. Okay. Oh, yes. I've used this before. This is a great idea. Awesome. We'll go ahead and use this and we'll import it into Notion for fun. We'll also close out of this. Let's see here. Cheerify API main. Yes. Awesome. Okay. So let's walk through kind of what we're thinking through. So, yeah, let's kind of figure out our use cases and our scope, right? So use cases and then our scope. And then, so for use cases, we want to incorporate this into our Cheerify application. So that to me means a couple of things. Number one is support adding custom affirmations, support favor or setting affirmations as favorite, support, yeah, so I'll get rid of the word here. Adding custom affirmations, setting affirmations as favorites, and then retrieving random affirmations, retrieving affirmations belonging to a specific category, right? So where did my fun notebook go? I've always got a notebook on every single one of my streams where I just like write out things because sometimes I feel like I get bogged down with how many things there are to take care of. So I got my trusty handy dandy notebook here and let's walk through it, right? So we've got when a user first logs in logs in, because we haven't really implemented login yet, but that's probably something we would need to do, right? Is some form of authentication. That is because a user can have custom affirmations. So adding custom affirmations and setting affirmations as favorites, both of these would require authentication. So let's see. Allow for authenticated users. Great. And then we've got adding custom affirmations, setting our affirmations our favorite, retrieving random affirmations, retrieving affirmations belonging to a specific category, or random affirmation singular, retrieving affirmation, random affirmation belonging to a specific category. So these are, I would say, are like our priority ones. So let's think about how we would mark these. Maybe we could set them. Yeah. So red will set as priority 1. So I would say this is priority 1. This is priority 1. Then priority 2 will be orange here, right? All of these would be priority 2 tasks because they would have to happen. Like I would say they would be really nice to have. Adding custom affirmations with category. And favorite status. And then potentially, let's think about anything else there. For now, I think I'm good. For the scope, it's kind of within primarily our Cheerify iOS app. And then our potentially, for now it's just within our Cheerify iOS and Android app, I think, is our scope. We don't need to worry about anything else. So Let's think about now which resources are required, how their data should be formatted and structured, how they should relate to one another, and which methods should be available on their associated endpoints. Okay, let's think through this. So we would have to think through, so then what makes up an affirmation? An affirmation has a string, it has an ID. It has like a string. It has a favorite status. Or actually, doesn't affirmation have a favorite status? That's interesting, because like yeah, because it could, like, an affirmation could belong and be a favorite of many users, but not necessarily. Yeah. So an affirmation has an ID and a string, and then definitely a category. And then a user would have a different ID, probably a name, email, or like name, and then probably a list of favorite affirmations, and then another list of custom affirmations. Yeah, I think that would make sense. So a user would have many affirmations, some of which would belong in the favorite affirmations category, and one of which would belong in the custom affirmations category. So then drawing this out, it would be, let's think through here. So then we would have so let's think about like drawing this out. So initially we would start out with our endpoint, right? So our API endpoint. And then within our API endpoint, we would have kind of an authorization request, right? So we could check for an authorization request. Move this down here. And then we have off, and then there we have the option that's, you know, stay here, please, please. Yep. I would like to move the arrow down like that. Yep, perfect. So we have the yes authorized option. So if the app is authorized, then something else happens. If the app is not authorized, then we go ahead and yeah, so this would mean a couple of things, right? It could mean that the it's nice and even. Yep, so this would be there we go. Yep, and then let's up. Cool. I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to these things. And then we have, let's see here, make sure we're good. Hello everybody. Thank you for coming. We have the option, so API, so key invalid, rate limit reached. Which would require for us to second friends. Yeah. Key invalid, rate limit reached. There we go. And then we have kind of our 403 error, right? So this would result in a 403 error. So let's mark that as a potential. So yeah, looks like general convention based on some of the other requests I've looked at is like to make this blue and then with nice like light blue background and then blue, nice light blue. No. Yep, and then within this would be orange. Could I have like an orange background? There you go. Cool. Yeah, so this would then result in a 403 error. Cool. So that would be that to start. So then we would have to check for our request and whether it's a valid request or not. So this would also be, I don't like how, make this. Let's actually make the text media so it's all consistent, but request. No. I hate that the word request barely doesn't fit here. Let's see. There we go, that's better. Oh, and so if our request is valid, then we have a couple of options, right? Well, we actually have lots of different options. So we have then, first option is that have the users authenticated, right? So shifts up, then we have here, other option, that's a no, perfect. And we have our OK request, right? So then we have different options here. So we've got these arrows that will effectively lead down from here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, right? And then I kind of want to get rid of this arrowhead. There we go, yep. And then maybe potentially just maybe make this curve. This is what I will focus my time on. Because of course I will. There we go, yep. And then this could potentially extend down this way. Make it line up. There we go, beautiful. Ish. It's not perfect, but it will have to do. Or you know what I could do instead? I could just like, yeah, this one. And then I could actually delete this and then make this one line up with this one. There you go. Looks like this one has to be straight and then that has to be down here. And then down there. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we have a couple of different options for things that could happen. Is, yeah, malformed requests, invalid requests, then that, yeah. I don't know if I even need to plan this out like this. Go start over, which might seem silly, but I just want to make sure we're doing things in a way that makes sense. So you need to figure out how things are connected, pretty much. We have, yeah, we would have our, yeah, so let's start here. We have our affirmation, right? I don't want a background. Yeah, we have our affirmation, right? And our affirmation, I'll make this a circle actually. I change your shape style. You won't let me. Fine. I'll make you a circle to start. Cool. All right. So we have an affirmation, and our affirmation can have a variety of different properties, right? It can have a name. It can have a, or what properties do we have? Our ID, our string, and our category, right? So we've got this one down here, this one up there, and then this one down here, right? So we will do copy this one, paste it over, move that down here, and then move this down there. Perfect. Right. So we've got our ID and our our actual string, and then the category. And then I'll shrink these. Yep, there you go. Cool. Okay. Got these down here, right? So our affirmation or string, and so this one would be a string. Some form, or int. This would be a string, and this would be a string as well. But we could eventually, yeah, I think this is just fine for it being a string, and I guess we could even work on making this an integer, right? So these would be like that, makes sense. And so then an affirmation is linked to an affirmation is linked to a user, but not really. Instead, what ends up happening, I'm going to go ahead and delete this, is that we have an affirmation, right? And then we have a user, some form. Shrink this a little, right? Then we have a user. And a user can have, a user first off will have a user first off will also have an ID, right? Which we know will be of type string or int, right? So we can just take that over from here, but it's a different ID than the initials, the initial ID for here. Then we they will also have a name, right? Which will be of type string. We can just maybe select these. That would be lovely. Or not, that's fine. So name, which will be of type string, right? We can take this over from here, paste that down, move this down here, connect it to this, right? Move this down, move this there. Perfect, right? There we go. Let's make it straight. And then it will be of type string. So take this over, move this here, right? And then a user can have a series of favorite affirmations, right? So this is where it gets interesting, I think. So a user can have a couple of things. They can have favorite affirmations, which would then link to here. Right? And they could also have a custom affirmation. right? And so these are all multiples, right? So this has many property here, right? So has many, and then another has many down here, right? And so an affirmation does not necessarily have to belong to a user. Like a user does not necessarily have to, like an affirmation can't stand on its own. So then that kind of leads us to believe what should happen. So we have kind of to think through all of the different requests that we could make, right? So we could, let's make a list kind of down here somewhere, right? Where we have get user ID, get user name, get user favorites, get user customs. We're gonna take a water break. And then, so these are operations that will happen on a user, right? Then on affirmation, we could get random affirmation, get random category affirmation, and then get all so it might yes, these would be get, and then we would also need to post. So this would be, you know, post new app. Okay, and so then we would potentially have it here so that we could have this may be the correct thing to do, or we have like an affirmation may belong to a user. Potentially. I think, but instead of this belonging to a user, what you would have is you would almost have a custom flag. Like a custom user ID, which would then link back to the user here, right? Which the custom user ID of an affirmation may belong to a user. Maybe. Trying to plan this out is fun. So yeah, we have to post the new affirmations custom specific user. So interesting. Okay. This is why it's important to plan things out like this. So yeah, we could have a like a name, string, category, right? And then okay, thinking through this, we would have to. So what if we scrapped the idea of a user for now? What if we tried to design the bare bones part, right? We have an affirmation, right? So let's think about like in terms of priority. This is priority 0 stuff. So we have an affirmation, and the affirmation needs to have an ID. It needs to have the contents of it as a string. It needs to have a category, right? Cool. This part makes sense. We've got these 3 things working through it. Perfect. And so then eventually we could boil and get into designing the favorites part with the authentication and the username and everything. So I think we can go ahead and start think about what would need to happen here. So for these green parts, what would our user really be? Or what would our things really need to be, right? So for affirmation, we would need to get random affirmation, get random affirmation with category. Yeah, I think for now we just need to get the random affirmation, get the random affirmation for a category. Perfect. So that would make sense then. So let me go ahead and check on some other things. Cool. All right. So yeah, so we would have to get our random affirmation and then get a random affirmation for a category. Great. So then let me go ahead and import a drawing. Perfect. Yes. Perfect. There we go. So we've embedded our whiteboard right in here. Perfect. Okay, sweet. So our whiteboard's back in here, so I can go ahead and close out of this really quickly. And then we've got our API here, so we could potentially slowly work on setting up our environment. So we have to decide on what we want to use to build it. So We'll actually have to go ahead and construct it and have to decide on our technology. Very fun stuff. Let's see. And then we'll have to test it, which we can do once it is done. Makes sense. All right. Let's go ahead and take a break for about 10-ish minutes. And then I'll be back at right about 4:50 or 4:55 Eastern. And so right at that time, we'll be able to jump back in and do some more things. But in the meantime, if you ever need anything or if you have any questions, go ahead and ask in the chat and I will revisit them as I can. And I will see you all very, very soon. Sorry about that, friends. Got a little delayed. That being said, let's go ahead and get started here. I just need to check on a couple of things unrelated to this. I've actually got, funnily enough, a project running for one of my classes in the background because I need to train an AI model, which has been very exciting. That being said, it is to get up some computational power, so everything's running a little bit slower. My apologies. Alrighty, let's go ahead and I'm going to clone a repository here. I'm going to clone my Surefy API main, and then going to create a Flask, a Flask project. So I'll go ahead and just pop it into my folders in here really quickly. Oh, what? Let me just try that instead. Okay. Okay, can I clone? Perfect. Okay, and let's go to my documents. And yes, open it up. Perfect. Okay. And yes, I will trust everyone in here. And perfect. Okay, so let me stop. Nope, no. I want to do this. Share this screen right there. Perfect. So we've just got our VS Code open right on in here. That's what we're going to be using to code up this. The GitHub link is the same GitHub link as I shared in the chat earlier. And then let me go ahead and verify that I have a virtual environment installed. Okay, wait, do I not have pip on this computer? Ooh, wait, okay. I need a new terminal window, or you know what, I'll just do Python dash version. Oh, command not found Python. Oh, great. Oh, okay. We need to install all of these fun things. Okay. It's really funny. Okay. Let me download this. Then, yes. Uh-huh. Open this up. Install. Yep. Ah, not me not knowing my own password. Oopsies. Do that. Okay, perfect. Yep. We'll go ahead and give it a second to get settled and get installed and do all of that all of those fun things. Perfect. All right, cool. Yep. Close that out. Move this. Yes, perfect. Okay. And then, great. Okay, and then let's do contest. What? Let me open up a new terminal just to check. Python -- version. I definitely have Python because I have other projects running that are using Python right now. Oh, I wonder if that's why. That's not good. Or would it be Python 3 -- version? That's probably what it is. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's make sure that okay, perfect. So that should be good then. So then can I run pip install virtual env now? But I have pip. Oh, pip 3. None of that. Let's try that. Cool. Okay, so we got that part. And then let's go ahead. Let's write our virtual env purify env perfect. What? There's no way you are also not recognizing. Okay, so command not found virtual env. Great. Let's figure out what that is now. Okay. not me getting too deeply into trying to solve these errors. Okay, great. Okay. Now can I run? Interesting. Okay, so that worked. Okay, supposedly it should work. And then let's do from Flask, import Flask, JSONify, and then render, split, then while for, and then import JSON, import right now. Cool. So I've got my extensions installed, which is good here. Let's see. After this, I can try and create an affirmations base, right? Or we've got then we defined it as earlier. Go back up so it didn't miss anything. Is ID, string, and category, right? So ID one, and then string. This is a sample affirmation, and then category will be test. Right, so and then within this, right, and we get another one. And then for now, we can do ID2 string. This is another sample affirmation test 2. Great. So then we can create our Flask app. And then our app route. PI affirmations random. And then we would do a def generate random affirmation quote or affirmation would be equal to random dot choice at affirmations, and then return the JSONify of affirmation. Cool. And then what I would need to do is add Python free app.py. Yeah, Python free app.py. No module named Flask. Okay, so I need to install Flask probably. Yeah, pip install Flask. Great, cool. Now I should be able to run Python 3 app.py, except I shouldn't. Oh, this needs to start with slash. That'll do it. Okay, let's try that again. Cool, and now I should be able to go to my endpoint. How would I know what location it's at? Interesting. Oh, I need the if name is main app.run. That'll do it. Put that quickly in here. Try this again. Run it on here, and then do this location. Perfect. There we go. All right, cool. right? Where we've got this. Interesting. I'm still getting an authorization denied error, but interesting. Okay. I'm also going to go ahead and set up GitHub Copilot on this computer because I love Copilot and I want to make sure that it works. Install that really quickly. Perfect, there we go. Okay, it's taking its time, thinking through things, that's fine. I need to figure out why. Let's actually go through I've got an idea for a place that I could look. Or maybe I will try Python dash or Python 3 dash m flask run dash dash debug. Cool. Nope. Still not getting what I need, which is unfortunate. Yeah, good question. We'll figure it out. For the API, hopefully. I mean, I don't see why not. But then again, you never know. Okay. I'm try and add requirements txt file in case we need it. And then try and run this really quickly. Control C, please. Yep. I'll just out. Open a new terminal window. Let's try pip 3 install -r requirements.txt. Cool, and then also run python -m flask run --debug, please. Still no. Let's try and Google this error. Okay, I mean, I can try 5001, why not? Oh, if it's that I've been putting Python instead of Python 3. Ah! Run --debug. Let's see if that helps. Okay. No, that did not help. Okay, so apparently there's something with AirPlay receiver. Export. Ask run -p4999. Okay. Okay, perfect. We got it. Okay, so it's just about the port being off. There we go. Got it. Okay. Cool. Well, in that case, I also need to add in the thing here that says Flask. Actually, I don't think I need this file even. Delete the file. And then in order to run it, I need to do Flask run -p9999. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then for my affirmations, I need to actually go ahead and pop these into yeah, so that's for this. I need to actually go ahead and create a new file. That is affirmations.py, right? And so within here, well, what? Oh no. Well, not that it really matters, but yeah, let me cut this out, paste this in. Affirmations is ID1. It's the test affirmation. We have a bunch of affirmations written from one of my previous streams. So let me open up Notion here. I know exactly where it is too. We had a fun little stream not too long ago. We wrote some affirmations together. Yes, please excuse me. Thank you. Okay, no. Okay, there we go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, things like this. So this is a good start for now. I need the closing brace here. Perfect. Okay. Cool. So we would have this in here. Do you consider the map diagram crucial for your app design? For what I'm thinking through right now, yes. At the very least, it'll be helpful for me to kind of have a picture of where I want to go and what I want to make with it later on down the line. It'll be a lot harder for me to work through it without kind of having an idea of where I want to proceed. Even if it looks kind of unnecessary now, it can be really helpful later on down the line. Okay, well, the exciting thing to do here would be to convert all of this into a JSON that has an ID and each one is their own. So I'm gonna try and do this real quick. Let's ask ChatGPT, funnily enough, convert list of affirmations, follow the below the format. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay, I've got the first 42 affirmations right now. So this would be going down here, going down here. Perfect. And it goes to from down here. Go ahead and try and grab these affirmations, more of them, quickly, because we've got more. I'm going to go ahead and oh, perfect. Okay. And we have to definitely delete in here. There should be there we go, 85, sure. Definitely just go like that, right? So with these 85 affirmations, that if I were to run it, right, go to the link, we should be able to generate something. Oh, we got a 404, which could mean something is up. Oh, I wonder if it's because yeah, let's try that instead. Oh. How would I get a data structure for a different file in Python? Okay, there we go. Now we should be good. Let's try this again. Wrong schedule. See, there we go. Flask run. Perfect. We run it. No. Still returning a 404, huh? Okay. Well, let's try and figure out why. We've got affirmations in here. They all seem fine. Uh-huh. So what if I try and comment out? I try and comment out everything in this first section so far, right? Try and run this. Open up terminal, see how it looks. Terminal, yep. And let me close out of this real quick. And it was actually not that. It was is the command that ended up working? Shit, I don't remember. No, I won't remember. Wait, no, I got it. I think I got it. We'll be good. Yeah, Python. Oh yeah, Flask run -p4999. Still not. Okay. It's not found on the server. So what if I try and move just affirmations.py, just try and just move it in here, right? And then, oh wait, you know what it is? It's because I'm not at /random. I added this as /random. That'll do it. Yep. Now I'll hit this one. So if I comment out everything back in here, right, should refresh pathetically. Well, let's just kill it, try again. Yep. Cannot import name affirmations from affirmations. Why not? Okay, sure. I'll just cut this back out again. Back in here. What? Cut. Paste. There we go. The comment back out. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Right. Well, let's try and run it again. Nice. Now we'll get random affirmations every time. Perfect. Okay. So it spits out everything there. Will the script be available online? Yes. I'll be pushing it up to GitHub after this stream, and we'll be continuing it with other throughout the other streams as well. So yeah, if I leave it as the default route, then I could go ahead and do this. Now what I want to do is create a route called where I can pick all affirmations. How to, like, what I want to do is, no, I need to, okay, yeah, that should work. Hypothetically, we'll see, right? Okay, now if I try and refresh it, random isn't a thing. I refresh this one. Should just give me this one. If I add in love, eternal server error, cool. Oh, cannot choose from an empty sequence. Yeah, okay. So that happens because of random.choice. Yeah. It's capital L, isn't it? Yep. Let's try that instead. Control C, that's fine. Run this again, that's fine. Yeah, that's what it is. Cool. Now we're good. So if I were to add in a bunch of affirmations that had to do with friendship instead, because I have them pre-written, what I would do is just add these in through here. Yep. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and add these back in here, right? Oh, still not done generating. We have to give it a second. That makes sense, actually. Well, it'll be a good time right now for me to wrap up the stream in just a second, which will be great. And then from there, we should be able to prepare for things later. For our stream later, we'll continue on with this stuff, and it'll be fun, hopefully. Alrighty, let's see here. You done? Yes, please continue generating, good sir. Ah, shoot. Okay, it's fine. It ended at 124. So I'll have to delete the 124 one that's broken. Perfect. Cool. Then we're at affirmations.py, starting back in here. Cool. And then we've got, I don't know. And also 85 up here. We need to get rid of this. Add in the comma. And then right at the bottom, it'll be this, get rid of this part. That looks good. Then Control C, Control ask run. Try to rerun it. Love, love, love. Okay, then friendship. Just to make sure it works. Cool. And then just random. Should generate both love and friendship ones. Perfect. Okay. So yeah. Is this a project that would have an output through a GUI or is it expected to run in terminal? No, we will work on getting it to output through the mobile app. So like making a call and then getting this to output as JSON is the goal. We would probably end up hosting it, hopefully, and so you can just access it the same way as like instead of running it like on terminal and then getting the call locally, you would be able to run it through like a website of some form. We should be able to host it, hopefully. That's the goal for part 2 and part 3. But yeah, okay, let's go ahead and get this stopped here. We'll do git add all, git commit -m, part 1 progress, and then git push. Perfect, so we've got the repository pushed. Let's take a look at that really quickly, make sure everything looks good. My profile, my project. There it is, GFI API, updated now, perfect. And then we've got our, yeah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna stay on and just keep adding in these affirmations. And so that we're done, and then however much I get, and then perfect. We'll go ahead and pop these in here. Except I want this tabbed over, please, because otherwise it is going to bother me. Actually, I'm just going to place them in the right places too, because that's going to bother me too. So 85, we'll go up here. Or no, I do have 85. Okay, 124, sure. Just fine, I'll just add it up. Okay. Cool. Right, and then comma there. That tapped in, should be good. And then let's try and keep going. What's the last one? I tracked friends. Share my values and passions. Okay, so we go through here, and then I'll just get this again. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get this set up, as much of it as I can before the stream ends, although it'll be time for it to end soon. Let me double check. Pretty sure we've got another stream coming on. Yeah, okay, no, we've got an hour break, so we can go a couple minutes over. That being said, I don't want to make that a habit here, so go ahead and finish this part up here. Yep. Grab this. Then copy this over. Boom, boom. Comma here, and then there's going to be right at the top here, this weird part that we have to just delete. Perfect. Add in the comma. There we go. Everything looks good, and then we'll get the the next set as well. There we go. I'll go ahead and keep going with these. And then, yeah, no, happy to answer questions anytime. We're gonna see how many of these I can actually make it through. It might not be probably won't be the whole list. I think we ended up like in the former stream, like working through almost 1,000 affirmations or something like that, if not more than that. So that being said, you know, it's at least enough that we can make a decent headway, and I wanna. Okay, cool. Wait, really? Okay. You're definitely missing some of them, but that's fine. Please don't include emojis in the text. That's a little strange. Okay. And then we have these. Perfect. Oh, there's little birds outside my window. That's adorable. Okay, let's ask it to keep going. Perfect. Keep generating stuff as it's needed. And then I'll push this up, and then we'll probably revisit it right at the start of the stream at 9 p.m. Yes, at 9 p.m. So we'll be able to do that and get this all set up and ready to rock. So we'll be good to go from there. But I'm now gonna just say before I head off. Oh wait, no, continue generating, please, actually. I gotta learn to press the button. There you go. And then finally, do this. And then pop this in here. Perfect. Great. Awesome. Except the very, very top is going to be messy again. Sweet. Just make sure everything looks good. It's not a very smart way to do things, but that's fine. Let's try get at all. Git commit -m part 1 progress with friendship plus family plus love. Then git push. Perfect. We'll get that in here. And then make sure everything looks good on GitHub. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had a blast, even though I think generally it's a little hard to do things all at once. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm having an issue with another one of my projects, I think. Interesting. Okay, well, yes. Thank you all very much for joining. I appreciate it. Just in case you need it, you can find the project on GitHub. You can find me on the live streams anytime throughout the next day or two. I'm excited for part 2 and part 3, and I look forward to seeing y'all there. Thank you all very much for joining me. Much, much appreciated. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.